Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. This is going to be the next video in my box set series, although we're going to kind of flip it a little bit this time and show a vinyl box set. I know I've kind of really been on a CD box set kick over the past, I don't know how many months or whatever now. So, I want to make sure I kind of stay rooted in what I really love, which is vinyl. So I want to share a vinyl box set with you this time. And it's the group you hear playing in the background, which is Disturbed. And so this is Disturbed, the collection. I believe it was a 2012 Record Store Day release, I think. And then this gives you an idea about the track listing and what you get inside of it, which I'll go through and show you here in just a second. You know, simple box on the outside, no fancy way to open it or anything else. Album's just right there on the side. Nice too, you can keep the shrink wrap on it, which is kind of cool. Always like that. Kind of see the sticker there on the front. And I guess before I get into the albums, I'll just kind of say a little bit about Disturbed in general. As most people I should say most people probably know, because maybe you do or don't, but I am one that's a huge fan of the whole nu metal thing. I do love that a lot, as much as I love thrash and everything else. And the one thing that I really love about nu metal in general, of course every band's a little different, but in general, when I say nu metal or the nu metal bands I love, the things I like about them is, I guess for lack of better terms, the wall of sound that they create. You know, a lot of the nu metal bands that I love are not, Dave Mustaine type of technical, playing, or that they're not, Slayer or Overkill type of, speed metal, that type of thing, which of course, I love all that stuff. But when I start really digging my nu metal bands, it's because they're not technical like that. They tend to just kind of down tune their guitars, or drop D type of tuning, playing a lot of just open chords and very rhythmic type of playing, which to me just kind of creates these pounding walls of sound. And it's why I love bands like Godsmack so much. When your songs like Vampires and Awake and stuff like that. I mean, I can go on and on with Godsmack, but that's what I love about nu metal. Korn's another great example of that as well. And Disturbed is another band that kind of fits into that for me, so that's one of the reasons why I like them so much. Now, one of the things that surprises me sometimes that I like it as much as I do, just kind of music rambling here for a bit, one of the things that I tend to like the least in music in general, which is kind of what you hear going on right now, is those bands that try to play that line between, yeah, we want to have heavy guitars, we want to be, come off kind of metalish, but then we want to sing these like soaring harmonies and, stuff like that. And typically that bugs the crap out of me, especially if you start incorporating like rap into it. You start doing like the Linkin Park thing, or you start doing the, maybe going back a bit like Limp Bizkit type thing. I just can't stand that stuff. Oh my goodness. But now, with that being said, I mean, you have those bands that make it big, and it's kind of like, well, do I have a Linkin Park CD? Yes. Do I have a couple of Limp Bizkit CDs? Yes. Because I will never be so close-minded to music that maybe I do dislike 99% of your catalog, but I'm always open-minded enough to go in and say, but that one song you did on this album, that's good stuff. It has all these elements of music that I say I don't like, but for whatever reason, you guys kind of nailed it on that one. And that's kind of what I do with bands like that. But I'm kind of saying all that again because Disturbed is one of those bands that does that a lot. They do a lot of those. It's like, just like the way he sings, that attempt to harmonize type stuff over top of that, heavier music. It works with Disturbed for whatever reason. So I love them for that. Matter of fact, it's kind of odd too, because probably my favorite song by them, arguably, next to 10,000 Fists, is probably Just Stop. and they do it a ton in that song, and it's actually my favorite part of the song. So again, just kind of, you know, my ramble about what I like about the group, and you know, my attitude towards it and all that good stuff. Let me kind of go through and show you the actual pieces here. You start off here with The Sickness. Okay. And pretty much every LP in the set comes with a paper sleeve, which I replaced with a poly paper sleeve. And then they all come with a one-page insert like this that has, you know, info, lyrics, and all that good stuff. So somewhat simple kind of in that regard. It's not on 180-gram vinyl, but at the same time, it is a decent weight on the vinyl, which is kind of nice. And it's all black vinyl throughout the set. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea there. Now what I have noticed is, and I kind of pulled this out here. This is a copy of the 10th anniversary release of The Sickness. And when I go back and look at this, I think this kind of came out, I think, before the box set did. The individual releases, in my opinion, are a little bit better quality. And again, I can't necessarily say about the sound of the pressing because I have not opened this yet. So I'm not sure about the vinyl pressing or whatever else. But just kind of in general, it seems to be put together a little bit better. This is a gatefold. And again, this is kind of basic single sleeve. And the artwork looks a little more kind of, not generic, but it looks a little more kind of that taken by a cell phone and then blown up, that, you know, the kind of distortion in the picture that may come from doing something like that. That's kind of the impression I get with the artwork on that as compared to this 10th anniversary edition. So I don't think they put as much into the releases in the set as they did the individual releases there. But still, definitely a nice, just kind of clean cut, right to the point type of pressing. So you definitely won't be disappointed with sound and things like that. What's playing in the background, which you have Believe. Same thing, you know, in the one-page insert there. But again, I don't think they ever released this on vinyl. I don't think so. So again, it was kind of nice to be able to get this in the set. And of course, it has great songs like Prayer and, you know, a number of other good ones on there too. And then this was the one that I was most excited, especially when I first got the set, because this had never been released on vinyl. So first time was in this set. And arguably my favorite, you know, song for song Disturbed album, which is 10,000 Fists. Now this is a gatefold. So you get 2 LPs inside of this one here. As you see here, you got the nice, you know, picture on the inside, which is a picture of David Draymond there, or Draymond. It's really odd too. I mean, while I have that open and talking about it, he's one of those guys that, you know, I haven't really researched him or watched a lot of his interviews, or don't really know much about him or even the history of the band in that regard. But I just always get the impression that he's like the biggest jerk in the world. There's just something about him that just gets on my nerves, you know. And I have nothing to back that up whatsoever. You know, it's like I can't say he said this or I heard that or whatever. It's just one of those subconscious type of impressions that you get and no justification to it. So I do my best not to hold it against him because it's just me. But I don't know, every time I see that picture when I open that up, I just think like, you know, you idiot, and I don't know anything about him. But anyway, you know, really, really great album here. One of the things I've always said about this album, and I don't know if it's technically considered or not, I don't think it is, but you know, this to me really is kind of a concept album based around the whole idea of teenage rebellion, teenage angst, teenage pain, teenage hurt, just the way they brought the songs together. And of course, when you look at the album cover and the title, you know, it really was just kind of impressive to me the way they put this together. And the music and the lyrics throughout the album just really kind of capture all of that. So again, technically, I know it's not considered a concept album, but it certainly is to me in a very subtle, impressive kind of way. Next, you have Indestructible. So same thing, one-page insert that you get with that. And, you know, I do have a copy of the original release there outside of the set. And again, kind of the same thing. This is a gatefold. Seems to be a little bit better pressing. At the same time, it's still sealed. You got my little sticker there. So I haven't actually heard the vinyl on this, but just in general, from the packaging and everything else, it seems to be a little better put together than the one that comes within the set. And last but not least, you have Asylum. Same thing, single page insert there. And I do also have the original pressing with that as well. And these seem much more comparable. It seems like they didn't put as much into the pressing here as compared to what the one in the box set. So those are very, very similar as far as quality, in my opinion. So anyway, that is Disturbed the Collection. The box set issue from Record Store Day, and I think it was in 2012. Slide these back in here. Very, very solid set. You can definitely get it for, you know, a decent price. I mean, pretty much the same that you would expect to pay album for album if you just bought them individual pieces. So, very solid set, and I definitely highly recommend it if you're into the Disturbed / nu metal type sound. All right. So thanks as always for watching, VC, and we will talk to you guys soon.